What a stealthy laptop. Oh, it's upside down. I'm sorry, MSI, you sponsored this video, and I'll be gentle from now on. Let's put the laptop aside for a second and see what we get in the box of the MSI Stealth A16 AI Plus. In here we have our power brick, which is good for 240 watts, which is delivered over this proprietary charger. I'm not a huge fan of that, but at the same time, that is on the absolute limits of USB Type-C, and this will be more efficient. In here, we also have our quick start guide, which tells you connect to power and turn it on in many different languages. Well, I know it's called the Stealth, but in the top down, you just can't even see it. It's just a monolith there. If I turn it a tiny bit, oh, there's the MSI logo. No gamer stuff here today, just pure stealth on this magnesium alloy chassis, which is decently light. Let's see. Looking at the weight here, it comes in at 2.1 kilograms or 4.6 pounds. And given the power of this thing, that is pretty darn good. Spoilers, it has a 4070 in it. This is definitely the kind of laptop that you can fool your boss into thinking is professional and very nice, when in actual fact, it's a gaming laptop in disguise. But the secret is though, a good gaming laptop and a good workstation, same thing. No one has to know the difference. Okay, let's have a look here. The chassis is really quite sturdy. I can push, if I like really send it right below the spacebar, you can see a little bit of flex, but the magnesium alloy chassis, very stiff as we expect. Panel's got a tiny bit of movement, but nothing out of the ordinary. Does it? Okay, it doesn't bounce. Doesn't bounce too bad. Very good. Oh, is it matte? You guys didn't tell me this was a matte display. I love it. Here we also have a healthy amount of I/O. So we've got headphone microphone combo jack, USB 4, a USB A, and also our power inputs right there. Hopping over to the left side, we have Ethernet 2.5. Confirmed it's 2.5, HDMI 2.1, and another USB Type A. Nothing on the back. Nope, just heatsink. All right, let's hit it here. That's really anticlimactic with no RGB on the keyboard. I think I can enable some. Oh, there we go. The first thing that I've noticed while booting this up is that the screen is fantastic in the sense that it's not trying to do more than it needs to. So many displays are just completely oversaturated, overdone. This right here is just pleasant. It's the matte finish. We have 600 nits of peak brightness and also 16 by 10, 1600p, so it's like 1440, but just a little bit taller so that you can fit more stuff onto your laptop. And it's just an aspect ratio that makes way more sense in a laptop form factor. This keyboard might not suck. The keyboard, I think, is fine. You will be able to get up to full speed on it, and I was able to type without making a whole lot of errors, but it is certainly not a satisfying experience. The consistency key to key is not super high, so it isn't going to allow you to like absolutely shred like on some other laptops. But that said, I don't think it's going to actively hold you back, and for gaming in particular, it's going to be just fine. What's actually good though is the trackpad that's below it. They haven't done anything super fancy, like you don't get a force touch trackpad, but it is just a very simple, large trackpad that takes up all of the available space that they have there. It has a real nice soft sort of click. Like it's not very loud, but it's nice and responsive. It more than does the job. All right, let's have a look at our specs here. For the CPU, we have an AMD Ryzen AI 9 365, which has 10 cores, 20 threads, and goes up to 5 gigahertz boost. We also have 32 gigabytes of RAM at 7,500 mega transfers per second, a terabyte of storage from WD, Wi-Fi 7 from Qualcomm, love to see that. We also have our GPU, which is an NVIDIA RTX 4070, the 8 gigabyte version. And of course we have an NPU, this one's good for 50 tops, so you can do all of your Copilot Plus things that you want to do, have Paint generate images and fun things like that. What I do actually like is that they have intelligent switching of your modes of the laptop. Something like 90% of people from data that I have seen will never change the mode of their laptop, so it will be a huge benefit to them to have this changing between an office mode where it's really quiet and cool and has long battery, and then automatically switching into a gaming mode for when you actually need that sort of power. All of that's just taken care of through MSI's AI engine. Ooh. The spatialness of the audio is pretty good. That F1 car sounded like it went from like here all the way over to there. All right, how many FPS do you guys think we're gonna get?
I'm gonna say 110.
Okay, so it looks like we're getting about 90 FPS here. Sometimes it goes up to 100, but I think that makes sense. We are screen recording this, and labs in their labs testing were able to get 110 FPS out of this. So it all just about lines up, and I would say that I am having really quite a good time. 240 hertz display, even if you're not getting all of those frames, looks pretty freaking good when you're gaming on it. Oh, I just got fastest lap, and since I've asserted my dominance, I think that we can call it there. Thank you to whoever just dropped something. So one sec. You hear that? That is both not very loud and an incredibly good quality to those fans. Because you can have fans that are not particularly loud, but if it's a really annoying, not particularly loud sound, it's still annoying. This right here was just a nice whoosh. You won't really hear it because it's not just quiet, but it's nice. Okay, let's see how the speakers are. In here we have the Dynaudio system, which has 2 pairs of force canceling woofers and 2 tweeters, and I'm guessing it's perfectly fine. It seems like spatially, it is doing a really good job. Like this sounds super wide, like it's laptop something like this big, but at the same time, it sounds very tinny. We're not getting a whole lot on the low end. It's very high, but let's see at the drop here. Okay, it's all right. That's nothing exceptional though. I want to see if there are some controls though. Let's see what happens if I just turn audio effects off. That's you want the effects to stay on, that is for sure. You turn them off and it sounds like it's this big and a tin can. Yeah, leave that on. Oh man, does this have that thing too? Easy surround. Oh, I really like this feature. We're not gonna show it off right now, but you can have a Bluetooth speaker that just like goes behind your head or pairs to add more speakers to your laptop setup, which is actually pretty sick because you can very easily have like a janky surround sound setup from just Bluetooth speakers that you have laying around your house, and it's pretty awesome. All right, how is this webcam? It's looking not too bad. I did hear the microphone earlier and it seemed like it wasn't so good, but you can be the judge of that. Let's move this around. It seems to be doing a pretty decent job. I'm a little bit blown out here and it's definitely grainy, but at the same time, this is some pretty challenging lighting as I move around between shadows and super bright studio lighting. It is making me very red, which I don't think I am in person. A little bit. Not like that though. I think that this webcam gets it's perfectly fine, but what makes it very good is that we have Windows Hello facial recognition up here, and if that doesn't recognize you, we also have a fingerprint reader down here, and the combo of those two is my absolute favorite, because maybe you're in harsh lighting and your Windows Hello doesn't work, just fingerprint it. Maybe you have gloves on and you can't use your fingerprint. Wow, your face worked. The two together is great. Just like taking apart laptops is great. All right, 7 Phillips head screws and a lot of patience and prying later, we are in, and there is a lot to like in here. In particular, this 99.99 watt hour battery. You can put a maximum of 100 watt hours on a plane, so they got in just under that, and it's good for 8 hours and 30 minutes according to our labs, which is fantastic for a gaming laptop, or not a gaming laptop, a professional laptop such as this one that is very powerful. As for upgradability, we have a Wi-Fi card right here that can be swapped out if you want to go to Wi-Fi 10 in the future or whatever it ends up being. We also have an empty SSD slot right here, which I love to see, but unfortunately the RAM is soldered down. With the speeds that it's going at, 7,500 mega transfers per second, you cannot currently get SODIMMs that are that fast, so I can see the trade-off of not allowing you to upgrade it, but it is still a little bit unfortunate. What's not unfortunate though is the cooling system in here. We have 5 heat pipes, 2 fans, and as you heard, it is pretty good at being silent. And of course, below those heat pipes is the GPU, and if you have been looking at Nvidia's market price at all, it is good for AI. Lots of people think it's good for AI. It can do things like Photoshop and Blender and just generally be very fast. So overall, I have to say this is quite a solid package. Heaps of power, heaps of, well, power, but in battery form, and the price is actually not too bad. This thing comes in at $2,000 at Best Buy, and you can check that out at the link down below. And if you don't want to check it out, there's also a whole slew of other laptops that MSI makes, Creator, Prestige, and Summit. And also, thank you very much for watching this video. Hit like, get subscribed, and just have a great old day. I'll see you later.